Now what's one thing I need to do before I finish for the day? This little sucker here. This tip needs to have a rinse, because I've rinsed it with the solvent and the brush. But what can happen is the remnants can remain within the barrel itself. So the back of the barrel, which is quite large, can have remnants of dried material in there. So what I need to do is replace this safety on, replace this tip housing, and with the tip in the spray mode, remember that's reverse, that's the spray mode, safety off, I will put that over the tin, wrap the piece of rag around there, pull the trigger. What I've just done is this, give it a quick squirt. Now I'm going to do it backwards. Again, keep yourself safe. Pull the trigger, it looks like that. See, there's not a lot of pressure, but it's enough to know that I've rinsed it. Safety on, undo this. See, I have done all product transfer without the tip on. The tip does not stay on there. Now, again, I've screwed that on there. So what I need to do is give that a rinse, like so, safety on. Now before I pressurise this system again, I'll just put this, give this a rinse again, make sure it's nice and clean. So, avid young spray painters, what I'll do is, I'll take that tip out of there. Now this go in a clean tin with some solvent. The best thing to use is a glass jar, because I can see if there's solvent remnants left in there. Always super duper duper clean, always clean. If I keep this clean, I stay safe. Remember the half moon washer that I put on earlier? Well look, now it's had a bit of pressure in it. It's remained within the barrel. Can I leave it there? Absolutely. It's when you do this too much. Turn it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. With the pressure on there, that you'll actually scour that half moon washer. To be honest with you, it could last 2 or 3 tips before you replace it. In the tip packet itself, when you install another tip, you'll see that that half moon washer is in there. What I suggest you do is keep them as a married set. That tip goes with that half moon washer. This tip goes with that half moon washer. Why? Because it keeps me safe. Why? Because that has to seal on the back of that half moon washer. And if you put that in there, and that half moon washer on a new tip, and the existing half moon washer is still there, when I pull the trigger, the paint can come out of here or here, which is the edge of the barrel, or worse, it can come out the back. So remember what I said, new tip, married set. Half moon washer, back and washer, new tip. They stay as a set, married set, always change them. And that's why it's been appropriated like that, so that you can do that. So I'll put the filter back. I've given this a rinse, bit of a tidy up. I'm going to put that in a nice clean tin of solvent. I've removed the majority of the tinter from the equipment, so therefore when I put it in solvent, it shouldn't taint the solvent too much, in the sense that it makes it discoloured and I can't see what's in there. How long do these tips last? The manufacturer says about 800 litres. To be quite honest with you, you can get anything up to 1500 litres out of them. What you need to do is what I showed you earlier, is to look at the spray pattern before you start. If you're worried about the tip, give it a squirt on the wall and see what sort of a pattern I've got. If it's nice and oval, be it horizontal or vertical, if it's nice and oval, the tip's still in good repair, away you go. If it's not oval and it becomes like a barrel shape and it's got a defined line in the middle of it, that means that there's significant wear in the tip and you need to change it. Depends also too on the product that you're spraying. If you're spraying like micaceous iron oxides, aluminium filled products, they'll tend to be a little bit more detrimental on the tip life, which is significantly reduces the tip life itself, and you'll need to change them periodically. So if it's not the right tip for the job, or the tip's worn, it's a false economy if you continue to use it. Ultimately, you're trying to get an achieved dry film thickness in accordance to spec or manufacturer's recommendations.